What's up, everybody? Happy Sunday. It's a beautiful weekend. I just wanted to stop in and say hello and share some thoughts with you guys. So I'll give a minute for people to check in and say hello. But then I want to give you guys some thoughts. I don't usually stop in on a Sunday morning, um, but I wanted to reach out and share some feelings with you guys. We'll give a minute or two for everybody to jump in. In the meantime, I hope everybody's enjoying the nice weather. Got to spend a lot of time outside yesterday. Got some lacrosse work in with my kids, and then we went hiking up at Bake Oven Knob, and that was really nice. Um, I've never been up there before, and I was up there twice in the last 3 days, and pretty cool. Pretty cool. Never been up there. Disappointed to see all the garbage and stuff up there, but really nice. Give about another 30 seconds, and then I'll start. I just want to share some thoughts with everybody about the state of things right now and what's going on and the current craziness that we're living in. So join in, guys. Say hello. Let me know you're watching. Hey, what's up, Senpai Anthony, Senpai Alexa, Senpai Ava? What's up, guys? All right. So anyway, I don't usually stop in on a Sunday, but I wanted to take a minute to say hello to everybody. I just got finished watching our church service live online, and man, I miss getting there and being fed the word through service in person. But my church, Faith Church, does an amazing job of putting it together and delivering it to us virtually, kind of like the way we're delivering martial arts to you virtually. So great service, great message, which I'm going to refer back to in a minute. And I'm dressed up and ready to pull a motorcycle out and go riding for the day. But I wanted to talk to you guys about what's going on right now. And I'm not even talking about the COVID-19, but I'm talking about these riots. I'm talking about these protests. I'm talking about the civil unrest, the violence, and so forth. So obviously everybody knows there was a tragedy this week, and an innocent man, George Floyd, was murdered in front of cameras, in front of people, in the streets of Minnesota. He was innocent, and he was murdered by a police officer full of hate. Now, I am a full supporter of law enforcement, but just like in any group of people, you can have 99% of the people are good and good-hearted and good-natured. You are going to have that one person that's a bad apple. It doesn't matter. I was just talking about church. Your pastors can be full of love and full of the word, but then you have that one guy who preaches falsehoods or uses his position of power to take advantage of people. In law enforcement, you have the same thing. In the military, you have the same thing. In any charity organization, you have people that start in a charity because they're full of love and givingness, but there's somebody that's going to take advantage of the situation, somebody who's going to abuse the position that they're in. Even in the martial art world, there are instructors that do the same thing. They use their position of power instead of sharing their knowledge and sharing good intentions. They use it to abuse and take advantage of people. So this is no different. The situation with George Floyd being murdered by a police officer full of hate. What I want to talk to you guys about is this response. I'm a full believer of the right to assemble and protest peacefully. When we turn to violence, to looting, to burning our cities, you have taken all legitimacy out of your argument and you've thrown it out the window. You've become a thug. You've become a criminal. You've become everything that you are saying that you're not. You're not serving anybody. You're not serving George Floyd. George Floyd was a God-fearing man. He was not a criminal. If he could speak now, I would imagine he'd be saying, stop this madness. Stop this madness. There's no reason for this. You're not serving. I don't do this in my name. Now, I can't speak for him. I didn't know the man, but I've read what I could read about him, and it sounded like he was an upstanding gentleman who was brutally murdered, and a police officer that did it should be fully prosecuted to the full extent of the law, have the book thrown at him. The police officer standing by watching this happen should have the book thrown at them. They should be prosecuted. They should be put in jail and prosecuted to the full extent of the law. No question about it. You should assemble and protest and have your voices heard. You should absolutely do that. But the violence is absolute lunacy. There's no reason for it. Martin Luther King had the power of the people behind him. And he said, and I'm going to read a quote because someone else posted this today, and this is a quote from Martin Luther King. The ultimate weakness of violence is that its descending spiral, beginning the very thing it seeks to destroy. Instead of diminishing evil, it multiplies it. Through violence, you may murder the liar, but you cannot murder the lie, nor establish the truth. Through violence, you may murder the hater, but you do not murder hate. In fact, violence merely increases hate. Returning violence for violence, adding deeper darkness to a night already devoid of stars. Darkness cannot drive out darkness. Only light can do that. Hate cannot drive out hate. Only love can do that. Those are the words of the greatest black leader of all time, Martin Luther King. He knew how to assemble peacefully. He elicited change in our country. He did not riot. He did not burn down cities. He did not elicit hate. Guys, wake up. This is lunacy. So it was very fitting that in our church service, one of the Bible verses that we learned about today was Ephesians 4:26 through 4:28, and I'm going to read it. And guys, I don't preach religion. I'm a Christian, but I do not hammer my religion down your throat. I'll never do that at the school. But these words from the Bible, listen, Ephesians 4:26 through 28. In your anger, do not sin. Do not let the sun go down while you are still angry, and do not give the devil a foothold. Anyone who has been stealing must steal no longer, but must work. Do something useful with your hands, or in this case, your voice. They may have something to share with those that need. Guys, we shouldn't be rioting. We should be peacefully protesting. Absolutely, you have every right and every justification to peacefully protest. But to burn down cities is lunacy. It's idiotic, and you were becoming the very thing that you were defending that we're not. We have to use our minds, use our heads. Now, I don't think that the quarantine has helped. People are bottled up. They have all kinds of rage. They've been locked in their homes for 3 months, and all of a sudden they have an excuse to get out and go crazy. And that's all it is. It's an excuse. They're serving no good. Serving no good. I saw people comparing these riots to the peaceful protests that took place in front of local governments or in government, in front of governor's offices and government buildings, protesting the lockdown and protesting to be able to open up their businesses again. And I see comparisons to the current riots and protests to that. They're not even close, guys. There's nothing similar about them. One is peaceful protesting. I'm 100% behind it. Rioting, hurting people, beating people up in the streets in the name of an innocent man who was murdered by a horrible, evil man, that makes no sense to me. I wanted to reach out, guys, because as martial artists, you've been taught at Leading Edge, and all my fellow martial artists out there, you've been taught since day one that violence isn't the answer. It's an absolute last resort. I learn and I teach martial arts for self-defense. I think of it much like a seatbelt in my car. I put it on every single day, hoping to God I never have to use it. Let your martial arts right now be a seatbelt for you. It's there to protect you in the craziness if this doesn't calm down soon. But it is never to be used in an abusive, violent manner. Guys, I don't normally step in on a Sunday. I'm about to jump on my motorcycle and get my peace. Motorcycle is a place where I go and my mind just is able to let free. But please, during this craziness, Stop the violence. Stop the riots. Stop the nonsense. This is not the solution. Heed the words of Martin Luther King. Heed the words of Ephesians 4:26 through 4:28. Guys, be safe. Be smart. Be strong. Love you and miss you. Lima strong. Have a great Sunday.